had a chance at school to decorate some pumpkins this year, and we learned some lessons during that time. Many of the students were able to get pumpkins from the library, and so all the CAMS students got pumpkins and brought them to CAMS class. And these students worked so hard on this little blue pumpkin. They put lots of little details in and worked diligently to make it just perfect. And lo and behold, the lesson that we learned from this is that tempera paint is not the best choice. I thought they were working with acrylic, and when we came back the next day after they worked on this, we found out that tempera paint flakes off, and you're going to see the results of that. This is so pretty when they painted it, but the next day when we came back, it wasn't so pretty. Here's what happened. So they just flicked the paint off and started over. Even if I had realized that they were using tempera, I wouldn't have known this. I had never had the experience of the tempera paint coming off of a pumpkin before. So we definitely learned a lesson. And what we did to solve this was we still had tempera paint, didn't actually have any acrylic paint available that day, and it had to be painted that day and handed back in. So we added a little glue to the tempera to make it stick. And the girls decided to change colors and change the design a bit. So on the first day we learned what wouldn't work, and on the second day we found a solution to make something that did work. When I advised them to mix a little glue with it, I probably should have been a little more specific because I think they mixed a lot of glue with it. And obviously they spilled it on the table, but they were smart enough to dip it up off the table and use what was there so that it wouldn't be wasted. Mixing too much glue with it made it a little thin, but they put enough layers on it and let it dry in between that they solved that problem too. They wanted to use the hairdryer to speed up the drying time, and because they were already a day late since the blue paint had not worked. So they used the hairdryer but had to be very careful not to use the heat setting. And then when they looked at the pumpkin, they decided that they'd go a shade lighter. And this having that under color of the darker green gave it a nice shade. The underpaint really looked good coming through this lighter color. And as these girls continued to work on their pumpkin, I moved on to another set of girls who were working to show what they were doing. Several of these ladies wanted to completely change the color of the pumpkin, but then I moved on to another young lady who did not change the color of the pumpkin. She used the base orange color. So let's take a look at some of the other pumpkins from around the entire school.